What we're talking about today is acorns. Acorn boxes, specifically. Now, the first one I did, or the first couple I did, looked like this. Well, I don't like this. And the reason I don't like it, I couldn't decide at first exactly what it was, but something bothered me. I didn't like it. And then I thought back to what Keith had told me a while back on bowls or hollow forms, you don't want any flat spots in it. And this has got a flat spot across here. It doesn't look right to me. So what I decided to do after that, I was looking through this book by Dale Nish on ornaments, and came up with this acorn by, I think it's Joe Wagner, isn't it? I think so. No, that's, yeah, I think it's Joe Wagner, the guy that made the Knurling tool. And if you see there's curve all the way around on it. And I like the look of it a lot better. So the ones that I did after that, such as this one, there's some curve in it all the way across. And that's really what I'm shooting for on that, is to try to have curves everywhere and not have a flat spot in it as much as I possibly can. So that's what we're trying to do today. And the other thing, several months ago, Keith gave me some wood, and I decided to go ahead and just make some blocks for boxes, a bunch of them, a couple of 5-gallon buckets full, because during the summer especially I'm busy, and if I leave something on the lathe like a big hollow turning, it sits there for weeks. Because I'm working on it a while, then I'll go do something else for 3 or 4 days, and then I might want to do something else on the lathe, and it just takes up my lathe. So I decided I was just going to do small stuff this summer. Just trying to practice on some small stuff. So I've got a couple of blocks of various kind of wood, and the other thing I'm trying to accomplish is when I do small stuff, I really like the wheel system a lot for the outside, but on the inside the wheel system doesn't work very good because you don't get the velocity that you do on the outside with a bigger disc. Those little buffs I've got in there don't work very well, I don't think. I don't like them. So I've been playing around with friction finish. So we're going to try a little bit with friction finish also while we're doing this today. So anyhow, I'll get started. This is a block of Osage orange. I watched the demonstration by Dennis Paulus this spring. You can use this tool very successfully, and I've seen lots of people make goblets and different things where you scoop out the inside with this. But what he did was to just use a spindle gouge, and really it works pretty well. Another thing I saw him use, one of these, and just kind of get it on center, and then just mark it with one edge. Just kind of give yourself a little starting point there. Really hard wood, so it vibrates and it takes some cutting. This is a sharp blade. I'll have to cut it in small passes or it vibrates too much. You just use that scraper to clean out and smooth out your opening. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is set where I want to. Have my cap snap into the top of the nut. And I usually set that up about 3/8 in, so that it'll snap into the top of the cup. About like, I'll make that about indentation about 1/2 inch, and then that'll be about 3/8 there. So then, start shaping it. Start rounding the corners. I'm going to make this probably about 1.25 inches. So that's going to be this part of the shape right here. What I'm trying to do is kind of center this up. And then part it down slightly. Beyond here is going to be wastage that slopes down. So I'm going to kind of cut it out of the way. I'm going to arc this back and try to start fitting this up. This is going to be the shape primarily of the fall off here to the bottom of the base. So I'll go ahead and remove some stock there. Now, I told you I was trying to try something with the friction finish, so we'll try a little bit of that on the inside when we got it in this position. This is Mylan's high build friction finish. I just got some of that at Woodcraft, and just put it on with a piece of paper. You don't use a rag because the rag gets away from you, pulls you in. That's not a good thing. So paper will just tear away from you. Again, I didn't like the Beal finish because you can't get into that and do anything with it. Whereas this is a reasonable substitute. So you just put it on there. Kind of buff it in, and the heat of the friction makes a reasonably good finish. If you can see that, it polishes up reasonably good. And I say you can build the finish up the more you do it. So. I'll go ahead and put it on a portion of this for now. I'm not going to worry about the end piece because that's going to cut off and have to be redone. Anyhow, and that's roughly what it looks like. Now, again, we measure what our opening is. There. Take a look at that. That gives me kind of an idea what I want to shoot for. Now you just got to start fitting it down there until this will fit on there. Got a little ways to go. I didn't trust that at first when I first saw him do it, but it's really by eyeball pretty accurate.
Which is nice when you're doing bigger pieces. Trying to force one on there and broke the cup.
Yeah. All right. I think that'll do.
That hurts. Yeah.
All right. So, we get started facing this. And catch our center again. Give me some idea of where I gotta go. Face that edge off. Okay, this wood that I'm using here is Sycamore, and it's a tight-grained wood, but it's a reasonably soft wood, which is a good thing. It's easier to turn out, and it's easier to cut than that Osage orange by a long shot. So, what I'm going to do, start to hollow it out. With the roof and that scraper, you really get a pretty nicely polished entry that you don't have to do a lot with. So now I'm going to go ahead and shape this over and shape this over. I want to create a knurl on this nut that's about 1.25 inches. So I'm going to make a mark on here about 1.25 inches. Then a parting tool. Start shaping this the way I want it to go. Everything else on this side is excess. It's going to be brought down to get it out of the way. I'm going to try to radius this and then radius that where I want it to go. So. Attempting to do is ride the bevel out here and make a radius that shapes across here about halfway on that, and then bring that in just a little bit more, and then make a radius that goes that way. And then I'm going to start shaping this out. Like that. I don't want too sharp on this rise. Something like that. So this, I'm going to go ahead and start shaping down. Yeah. Sycamore. I like it a lot. It's an easy wood to turn. It's reasonably soft, but it is also a fine-grained wood that takes sanding well and takes finish reasonably well. Alright, now I've left myself a little bit of a flat right here. I'll clean it up just a little bit, but I intend to leave it that way because it's a kind of a demarcation line. I'll sand this up a little bit, and then we're going to play a little bit with knurling on that. This is one made by Joe Wagner, and it's really a pretty easy tool to use. It's just, like you say, like any other knurling tool. You just, with this radius that we're trying to define, it has a tendency to want to walk away pretty easily. So you got to kind of really hold it firmly. You just bring it into contact. And then you got to make more pressure. Like I say, it can and will walk on you. Then you make another setup and try to match the groove of the last one you came into on the outside. And really as simple as that. And you can kind of rotate a little bit as you go. Oops. See why you have to press on this pretty firmly. And finally it bites in. Look at that just a second. See if I got enough. Yep. Okay. Okay. Then just keep on coming around, trying to hardwood tends to. Come on around to the end of your okay, and that is essentially what the knurled looks like. It's good. Now, if you're using this on the sides, you'll get the same pattern. If you to come over on the end grain, if you go above the center line, you'll get a spiral pattern going a certain direction, and then if you get it below the center line, you'll get a spiral pattern going the opposite direction. So, anyhow, that's how the knurling works. Now, there's other things you can do. Obviously, you can put color on that, things like that. Just use your markers and all that to accent it a little bit. I don't think I will in this case, but I'll just go ahead and finish it off. So now I want to shake this down. I'm going to get some of my waste out of the way so I can get into my rotations without it being in my way. Okay. Now I'm going to use a spindle gouge and start bringing this down where I want it to be. Get a little closer. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Now, this is bigger than my hand can handle, so I think I'll just go ahead and cut it off. And I've already had one thing fly across the room today I don't really want to. Okay. I'm going to try to do another jam chuck, set it on there, and then clean that up just a little bit if we got time to do it. Hang on a second. Use that one. Good enough or too much? Okay, I think that's okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is find center here and just drill a hole. Actually, cut a little divot in there. Brave, you can go ahead and the jam cut. I'll put this on here and I'm going to clean it off, and that's what I'm going to do.
You guys get the job.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Okay, I'm going to slow it down.
One more time.
Yeah, and call it a day. I'm not having much luck with my jam chucks today.
Don't have any duct tape, do you? Tape it off around there?
Matter of fact, I do.
If you're ever a roll of tape around it.
Well, I'm going to use that Mylan's and put it on there. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah. There you go. That is the knurled acorn.